So wherever there are police and enforcement kinds of activities going on, there are likely to be disagreements about the treatment by police. Why was I stopped in the first place? Who do I complain to if I have a concern? Many more questions. The Independent Police Oversight Board and Office of Police Reform and Accountability was established this year to address many of those issues. Crystal Okorafor is the Deputy Inspector General responsible for many aspects to this related board. Good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So people know that this is a big deal when it first was started up. So tell me about what you're responsible for related to this board.
Absolutely. So yes, the mayor convened a task force after the incidents with George Floyd and some of the other disturbances that happened, and they came up with 104 recommendations for the Houston Police Department and kind of changes and going towards more community policing. My office in charge with implementing those recommendations. Also, I'm in charge of the Independent Police Oversight Board. They are made up of civilians who review all cases that are investigated by the Internal Affairs Department at the Houston Police Department. They review cases involving serious bodily injury, officer-involved shooting, in custody death, and
So you're responsible for that? I mean, so you look at all the different, so you're the gatekeeper?
I'm the gatekeeper.
Okay.
Yes, so they review them and they look at it, and Internal Affairs Department does the complete investigation, and then we move forward from there. And so they review the cases, they look and see if they agree with the disciplinary action or not. And if they do, then they say, okay, let's proceed forward to the disciplinary committee. If they disagree, then they send it back to me and we go up the chain involved with what kind of recommendations they think should happen instead.
So this is made up of volunteers, right?
Absolutely.
And so with that in mind, do they have any kind of teeth in their decisions that they make? I mean, when they say, we think you ought to do this, is somebody bound to do that, or that's just, we'll take that under consideration?
So they do the recommendation, it comes back to me, I go back to the Houston Police Department, and we go back and forth until ultimately it goes back to Chief Fenner if there's a discussion there. So they definitely have teeth. That is part of the executive order. Mayor Turner really did a good job of making sure that it's not just checking boxes that we're doing something, it's making sure that we're doing something and making a difference.
Let's talk about the way for people to find out what's going on. We talked about it, you have a website, and so I've got video of that. One of the big efforts was to be transparent about what's going on. I see on the website, it's available to anyone to see. There's several areas you can navigate for. Example, taking you to an area where you can make a complaint, for example, right there on that spot, and you can fill it out, or you can see traffic stops, disciplinary actions example, for example. And what about this? I mean, as it's coming along, are there areas that still needs to be improved, or what's your take on it? So, because it's still pretty new.
Absolutely. The website's definitely new. It launched in June of this year, June 1st. And so we are trying to get a lot of people on the website to see the different dashboards that are available. You can maneuver those based on the different occurrences and things like that. And then the complaint process that you showed earlier is available in 5 languages, so you can change it to whatever language you need. And that way it gives people an opportunity. I don't want to go to the police department to file a complaint against an individual that I had a wrongdoing with. They can file the complaint on the website, and it'll come directly to me, and then I'll be in charge of communicating with them as it goes through the investigative process.
That's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot of responsibility. So when you take that on, are there places people can go to make complaints as well as individual offices or places they can go?
Absolutely. A lot of the community organizations, LULAC, NAACP, different organizations like that also have the ability to file complaints. And then you can also come to my office to file a complaint or reach out to me, and we can set up some kind of a meeting.
And that's kind of good, because if somebody has a complaint, they figure out they want to know something, they can go to those places or go to you, and they can kind of be walked through what the process is to help them out a little bit.
Absolutely. It's kind of putting a face and a person to an event. If you've had this kind of an event take place and you want to file a complaint, you don't want to just be a number. I don't want anyone to feel like they're just a number. I want them to feel like their voice is being heard. And so you'll hear communication from me. I'll talk to you directly, or someone from my office will get back to you within 72 hours.
Now, that's not necessarily for just a traffic stop, is it? I mean, this goes up. This is something else. What does it take to rise to the level where you're actually looking at it?
Right. So we're investigating cases that you've had a misconduct, something where you've a use of force allegation or anything like that. However, on the website, you can file any kind of complaint you have with the police department. The ones that we're really looking at are the use of force, the in custody death, officer involved shooting, and serious bodily injury.
One of the things I saw that brings up a point there. By the way, there's a lot of information on this. If you go on this, you can see all kind of things, bar graph showing a lot of different things there. There's ethnicities involved. One area, there's plenty of information out there, but I wanted to see more. In this one area, there's a use of force incidents. One of the categories there, the second biggest one is categorized as unknown. So why is that?
So all of the information and data that's available on the website is coming directly from the Houston Police Department. However they use their statistics and however they categorize it is exactly what we put on the website, because we want to make sure that it is transparent. We're not going to manipulate it or change it in any way.
So police department has said these things are unknown.
Right. And so on the website there is a data dictionary on there where they talk about what the unknown variable is. And they are probably going to change their implementation of the statistics.
Okay, so we're still kind of going with this. Still, it's new, it's changing. Your background is from the DA's office,
yes,
where prosecuting is what you did. So
right.
How has that prepared you for what you're doing now? Maybe it gives people confidence to know that somebody who's a former DA is going to be somebody who's going to actually go after somebody who's doing wrong.
Absolutely. At the district attorney's office, it wasn't about pursuing convictions. It was always about pursuing justice for me. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm not going out saying, you know, all police are villains or anything like that. I think that's the opposite. I'm going out trying to make sure that we are having the best police department we have for the city. And so we're pursuing justice, and that's all anyone wants. You've
come in, you've kind of gotten the lay of the land. It's kind of getting started. You're working with the people involved. What do you think has the most area for growth? I mean, you see where it is now. What do you think really needs to be improved more so that people can maybe get more out of it? Or some people will never be happy if they don't say. I've heard one of the complaints is, well, it's not truly independent if they can't subpoena people.
Right. And so they might not have the ability to subpoena people, but I have the full investigative authority myself to do an independent investigation into a case. If we have an incident where we look at it and I say, I don't know if I believe that I want to do I think that the Houston Police Department can handle an investigation, or whatever the case may be, I want to do an independent investigation, then I can do that. So although the Independent Police Oversight Board doesn't have the ability to subpoena and things like that, I have the ability to do an independent investigation. And I think that the public should know that we have taken everyone's cries. We've heard from the community, and Mayor Turner really has charged us with implementing changes throughout the city to make us the best.
Well, I'm glad you came in. Thank you for your insight. Good luck to you as you continue this very important work. Lots going on, especially with little kids that you have, little boys that are helping you keep mommy on task, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.